So moving to the next question, 14th question. A person is standing on a truck moving with a constant velocity of 14.7 meter per second on a horizontal road. So the truck moves with 14.7 meter per second on a level road. The man throws a ball in such a way that it returns to the truck after the truck has moved 58.8 meters. So there is a truck, okay, and this truck moves with horizontal velocity of 14.7 meter per second. Well, a person on this truck throws a ball and this ball will again comes back in his hand the moment. Meanwhile, the truck would have moved certain distance, and this distance travelled by the truck was given as 58.8 meters. Horizontal distance covered was given as 58.8 meters and the speed of the truck is given as 14.7 meter per second. Okay, but the ball was thrown projected upwards. So projected upwards means only vertical velocity the ball must be having. Okay, so in order to, this ball goes up to certain height h, that is called in some time, and that time is called as a time of ascent, and again the ball again comes back into his hands, and that time during its downward journey is called as a time of descent, and the total time to reach upwards and again to come back in his hands is called as your time of flight. So time of flight equals to time of ascent plus time of descent, and this formula, so the total time of flight, so TA is given by this velocity upon g because it is traveling in vertical direction, uy by g, and TD is also equals to uy by g. So if you want the total time of flight, you need to add up time of ascent plus time of descent, that will be equals to 2 times of uy by g. Is that clear, children? Well, so T is given as 2 uy by g, and this velocity, the speed of projection as seen from the tech, you are asked to find the value of uy. Hence from this uy can be found as gt by 2. As we know that value of g can be replaced with 9.8 and this is 2. So first of all, let us try to find out the value of t, the total time of flight before the ball comes back again into his hands. After substituting the value of t, you can find the value of the projection velocity. So let us try to find this t value. Children, as the truck is moving in the horizontal direction, the horizontal displacement can be given as s is equals to ut plus half at square. Along x-axis, Sx is equals to ux into t plus half ax into t square. As the truck ball is again inside the truck, the ball also attains the same velocity as the velocity of the truck. Hence, whether it might be the ball or it might be the truck, it must be traveling the same horizontal distance as well as with the same velocity, horizontal velocity. As long as the body is in horizontal motion, the acceleration due to gravity is taken as 0. Hence, there won't be this term. This horizontal distance, they have given it as 58.8. Whether it happens to be the truck or the ball, the horizontal distance covered by it is 58.8 meters equals to the velocity with which it is moving is taken as 14.7 meter per second, and the time, so this ball has to come back into his hands after certain time, and that time is nothing but your time of flight. So let me represent it with capital T. So whether it is horizontal displacement or vertical displacement, the time of flight remains constant. So let us try to solve the value of t here and substitute in the above equation. So we have the value of t can be written as 58.8 upon 14.7. Okay. So this, after further simplification, if you multiply this 14.7 with 4, then we have 58.8. So this 14.7 cancel out for 4 times. 14.7 into 4, gives 58.8. So T is found to be 4 seconds. So in how much time the ball again comes back into his hands, children? After 4 seconds. So this time of flight was found to be 4 seconds. So substituting the value of equation 2 in equation 1, we can find the value of the vertical projection. So let us substituting the value of equation 2 in equation 1. Let us see what happens. Uy is found to be gt by 2. Okay, where G is taken as 9.8, T must be taken as 4 upon 2. Okay, so this 2 goes 2 times 9.8 into 2, you have 19.6 meter per second, and option number 3 must be your correct answer. Hope you understand, children. Well, so moving to the next question, that is question number 15. From the above problem, that means from the same problem, okay, the speed and the angle of projection as seen from the road is. So here again, speed and angle of projection. Projection means at the time of throw. That means initial speed, you're asked the speed, the initial speed as well as the angle of projection you're asked to find out. Okay. So the initial speed is nothing but, children, let us indicate that initial speed as some u. So u is nothing but root over ux square plus uy square. It will be having both horizontal initial velocity as well as vertical initial velocity, where the value of ux itself, they have given it as horizontal velocity is nothing but 14.7 meter per second. Now, whereas the vertical velocity of projection, we have calculated the vertical velocity of projection as 19.6 meter per second. Okay, so let us substitute in the above equation. Then for the speed of projection is given as under root 14.7 whole square plus 19.6 whole square, isn't it? So let us simplify the same. So what is the value of 14.7 whole square? Children, multiply this 14.7 into 14.7. You will get something as 216.09. How much is that? 216.09 plus 19.6 whole square is found to be 384.16. Just simplify this, children, you may get the same values. Okay, so how much is that? 384.16, and hence the value of u is found to be this. After decimal it is 25, and this will be 600. So the value of u is found to be root over 600.25. We know that, children, 25 square is 625. Okay, whereas 20 square is 400. So it will be something in between 20 and 25. So let us see, it might be something around 24.5. So let us check whether this is true or not. Okay, so the value of u is approximately 24.5 meter per second. You are also asked to find out the angle of projection. To find the angle of projection, we need to find out tan alpha. During the time of projection means it is vertical velocity upon horizontal velocity during the time of projection. If it is after some time means it will be, the formula will become Vy by Vx, but at the time of projection it will be Uy by Ux. Hence tan alpha is found to be, the value of Uy here is 19.6, whereas the value of Ux is 14.7. So simplifying this, children, let us remove the decimal. It will be 196 upon 147. So this may go with the 7, okay, 7 2s 14, 7 1s, and here again 7 2s 14 and 7 8s. Again 7 3s and 7 4s. So answer is 4 by 3. The answer must be 4 by 3. Hence, the value of alpha is found to be tan inverse of 4 by 3. So, U value was found to be 24.5 meter per second approximately, whereas the value of alpha, okay, the angle alpha is found to be tan inverse of 4 by 3. Hence, the first option must be true. Okay, children? Well, so now moving with the next question, that is question number 16. A body of mass 2 kg has an initial velocity of 3 meter per second along OE. So, there is OE. Along that OE direction, how much speed is it moving? The body is moving with a velocity of 3 meter per second. And it is subjected to a force of 4 Newton along OF. OE is also there, OF is also there, direction perpendicular to OE. So what is given means OE and OF are perpendicular to each other. Distance of the body from O after 4 seconds is. So let us keep this O here in the direction of OE. Okay, in the direction of OE, let me keep this as OE. So this is given as O and this is E. Okay, mass is given as 2 kg. Let us keep it aside. The velocity, speed is given to be how much speed, children? 3 meter per second. And it is subjected to a force. Some force is acting on that. And how much force? 4 newtons in the direction of OF perpendicular. So perpendicular means in some direction, either upward or downwards. Let us take it as downward condition. Okay, so this is given as OF. And along this force, along OF only, some force is acting. How much newtons, children? That is 4 Newton force is acting. The distance of the body from O after 4 seconds is. So, very clear that this body is also having horizontal velocity as well as vertical velocity. Okay. So, the body is also traveling along the horizontal direction as well as vertical direction. Then the net distance covered by the body will be something like this. Okay, then you're asked to find out on its path after 4 seconds, maybe somewhere here, after 4 seconds of travel, what would be its distance travel? So you're asked to find out the distance traveled by this body after 4 seconds. This is what you're asked to find out. So, what distance is the body traveling? It covers both horizontal distance as well as vertical distance. So, you need to find out the two cases. So, in order to find out this, first of all, let us try to find out the horizontal distance. Horizontal distance is given by ux into t because the ax term will get vanished. So, the horizontal distance is covered as given as, so let me write this. This no horizontal acceleration, this will get vanished. Ux is given as 3 and after what time? You are asked to find out after 4 seconds how much distance along horizontal. So the horizontal distance after 4 seconds is found to be 12 meters. Now we also need to find out the vertical distance. In order to find out the vertical distance covered by the body, you need to take the formula Sy is equals to Uy into T plus half Ay into T square. Children, this body is not falling due to gravity. This, because of certain force, the body is projected. The reason why I told you that it can also be acted in any direction. You can plot this graph in any particular direction because it is not under gravity. Okay, it's all because only vertical direction, some acceleration it is acting. So in order to find out the vertical distance traveled by the body, okay, so initial velocity. So initial velocity as and when let us take it as 0 itself plus half. What acceleration is the body acting on? Well, only that horizontal velocity is given, vertical velocity is not given. The reason why I have considered Uy as 0. From this equation F is equals to 4 Newton. We can take that force formula, mass into acceleration, ma is equals to 4. Newton is only the units. So you may confuse this. Okay. F is given as 4 newtons. That means force means formula mass into acceleration is 4 newtons. So acceleration will be equals to 4 by m and the mass of the body is given as 2 kgs So this is 2. So acceleration along vertical direction is taken as AY is equals to 2 meter per second square. Substituting the same in the above equation, how much you are getting, children? So you will be getting it as half into 2 meter per second square into time. How much time? It is after 4 seconds you are asked to find out. So this is 4 whole square. So now this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. Therefore, the total displacement along vertical direction is found to be SY is equals to 16 meters. So here you found the value of the horizontal displacement, whereas here the vertical displacement. Now the net distance covered by the body is the resultant of the two. Therefore, the net resultant is equals to root over Sx square plus Sy square. This is found to be root over 12 square plus 16 square. This root over 12 square is written as 144 and 16 square is written as 256. And this was found to be root over 400, and root over 400 is nothing but 20. Therefore, the horizontal, the total distance covered by the body, the total distance moved by the body is nothing but 20 meters. And hence, option number C must be your correct answer. Is that clear, children? So what is the net distance covered by the body? It is 20 meters. Well, moving to the next question. Question number 17. A ball is projected upwards from the top of tower with a velocity 50 meter per second. So where is the body projected? The body projected upwards from where? From the top of a tower. This is the question, from the top of a tower concept. Okay. Body is projected from the top of a tower. Just move to the previous concept and listen to that carefully. So with a velocity, with what velocity the body is been projected? 50 meter per second, and making an angle 30 degrees with the horizontal. So let us drop out the picture for this. Initially you have a tower. From the top of a tower of height h, a body is being projected making an angle 30 degrees with the horizontal, and no doubt this body will go up. Let me yes, this body will go up to some height and again falls back to the earth. So this is how the body moves off. Well, after the height of the tower is given to be 70 meters. After how many seconds from the instant of throwing will the ball reach the ground? The total time of flight you are asked to find out. Children, I hope you remember the formula. If a body is being thrown from the top of a tower of height h, the formula is replaced by h is equals to minus ut plus half at square. Okay, along vertical axis. That this can be written as uy and ay. Vertical distance. Okay, yeah, this is better. So sy is equals to minus uyt plus half ay into t square. This sy is the height of the body. Uy is nothing but u sine theta, that is minus u sine 30 degrees into this total time of flight you are asked to find out, plus half acceleration is due to gravity g and t square. That's it. So substituting the above values, the height of the tower is given as 70 meters minus u value is given as 50 meter per second, sine 30 is 1 by 2 into t plus half the value of g. For simplicity, let us take it as 10. It's because it's a complicated equation. 9.8 means you may get confused. So I'm simply taking it as 10 into t square. Is that clear? Well, simplifying the above equation, you have this 2 goes 25 times, this 2 goes 5 times. So now the final equation would be something like this: 70 equals to minus 25t plus 5t square. This is again a multiple of 5. Let us Simplify with 5, take out 5 common here, 5 common here, then you can cancel with 5. Then 5 ones are 5, 14 must be equals to minus 5t plus t square is your final equation. Isn't it, children?
Yes.
Let us try to find the value of, this is a quadratic equation in t, writing in proper values, t square minus 5t, bringing the 14 the other way, minus 14 must be equals to 0. So this is a quadratic equation in t. You can find the value of t as minus b, minus of minus 5 is 5, plus or minus root over b square, minus 4ac, 4 into 1 is 4, c into 14, okay, 4 into 14 is the value, how much, children? 56. Minus 4ac, this minus and that minus will become plus root over 2a. 2a means by 2 because a is 1 here. I hope you remember the formula, minus b plus or minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. So this is nothing but 5 plus or minus root over 81 upon 2. This is nothing but 5 plus or minus 9 root over 81 is 9 upon 2. Time can never be negative. It can either be minus 4 by 2, it's minus 2, or 14 by 2 might be 7. So time can never be negative, so you need to take only the positive values. If you consider only the positive values, then you are left with 5 plus 9 upon 2. This is nothing but 14 by 2, and hence the value is found to be 7 seconds. And remember, children, this is an approximate value. Why? Because I consider the value of g as 10 here. Okay, if you take with the proper values and all, you may get the nearby values. So which one is the nearby value for 7 seconds? Of course, it is 6.33 seconds. Okay, so if you take substituting the value of g as 9.8, you may get the answer may vary. Okay, so what is the time? 7 seconds. Okay, it reaches in 7 seconds. Well, sorry, 7 seconds, but here option is approximately, you should take it as 6.33. Well, moving to the next question, question number 18. An aeroplane is flying at a constant horizontal velocity of 600 km per hour. So what is given? Yes. So this aeroplane is flying at a constant horizontal velocity. How much velocity is there, children? 600 km per hour. This is what was given. At an elevation of 6 kilometers. So what height was given as 6 kilometers towards a point directly above the target. There is some target. Above the target, the flight is moving. On the other side, at an appropriate time, the pilot releases a ball so that it strikes the target. So some ball is falling from the aeroplane and it hits the target. And this target is on the surface of the earth. The ball will appear to be falling. Here you are not asked to find and solve any numerical, though values were given. Only the concept. Okay. The ball will appear to be falling. How the ball appears to be? Suppose if it is seen by the pilot, it seems as if, because the velocity of the pilot is equals to the velocity of the ball, so same horizontal velocity, the ball appears to be falling in a straight line for the pilot. But for the person on the ground, it appears as if a parabolic path. These two conditions we know already, which we have discussed. So here on a parabolic path as seen by the pilot in the plane, no. For a pilot in the plane, it appears as if it is falling as a straight line. But this parabolic is not true. Vertically along a straight line path as seen by the observer on the ground, no. For the observer, it appears as if it is taking a parabolic path. So even this is also wrong. On a parabolic path as seen by an observer on the ground near the target. Of course, it is true. Okay. So for the observer who is standing at this target, it appears as if the ball is falling in a parabolic path. Yes. So option number C is true. On a zigzag path as seen by the pilot in the plane, not at all. It appears as if it is falling in a straight line, not as a zigzag, nor as a parabolic. So the correct option must be option number C. Well, moving to the next question, 19th question. The barrel of a gun and the target are at the same height. So what is given, children? Gun is there. Okay. Well, so the barrel of the gun And what else? On the target, some target is there. They both are at the same height. As soon as the gun is fired, the target is also released. So the gun is fired means the bullet may go something like this, and this is also being released means this is going down. So of course the bullet also may go, okay, in some parabolic path, that we know. In which of the following cases the bullet will not strike the target? Which case? Of course, at least it has to reach the target. Well, range of the projectile is less than the initial distance. Oh my god, how is it possible? So if the range of the bullet, if it would have fallen like that, how can it hit the target? Yes, it can't hit the target. Yes, of course it is true. Range of the projectile is more than the initial distance. Of course, if its range is more, then definitely it could able to hit the target. Well, range of the projectile is more than the initial distance between the gun and the target. It could hit. Well, range of the projectile is equal to the initial distance between the gun and target, can also hit. Bullet will always strike the target. We can't say. We can't judge. So the bullet will not strike the target whenever the range of the projectile is less than the initial distance between the gun and the target. It can't at all strike it. So no way possible. Is that clear, children? Always we cannot say, but these two conditions are satisfactory. Okay, both the cases there is a possibility that definitely the bullet can hit the target. Well, moving to the next question, question number 20. A ball rolls off the top of a staircase with a horizontal velocity u meter per second. So what is given, children? A staircase is given something like this. Well, so a ball rolls off the top of a staircase. A ball is there. This is better. The ball rolls off, where is that? From the top of a staircase with horizontal velocity u. What is the horizontal velocity of the ball given, children? U, meter per second. Okay. If the steps are h meter height, each step is having a height of h meters and b meters wide. So each step is having a width of b meters. Height of each step is h and width of each step is b. The ball will just hit the edge of nth step. The nth step, here it has to come back. The ball has to come here. During what case? When the value of n is equals to. So you're asked to find the value of n, isn't it, children? So for this, what shall we do? Well, so here we go. Horizontal distance traveled by the body. Let us try to find it out. What is the horizontal distance traveled by the body, children? Sx is equals to ux into t. I hope you remember this formula, because acceleration along u2 plus half at square, ax is taken as 0. So horizontal distance covered by the ball is given by simply Sx is equals to ux into t, where the time of flow from certain height can also be given as root over 2h by g. This is nothing but the range formula. R is equals to u into root over 2h by g, the same condition. So what is the horizontal distance covered by the body, children? The horizontal distance covered by the body is, each step is having a width b, 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 b and so on. How many such b's are there? N number of b's. So each width is b. Totally n steps are there. So total horizontal distance Sx is given by n times of b. This must be equals to, what is the horizontal velocity? It was given u meter per second into root over 2. What is the height? Height of each step was given as h. Height of each step was given as h. So the total height of the body is given as n times of h. If you are confused, let us replace this with some capital H so that you can understand in a proper way. Okay, this is better. So the total height of all the steps is given by, each step is having the height of h. So all steps, total number of steps are n. So total height is given as n times of h. Substituting the same in the above equation, we have S U into root over 2 times of, instead of H, I should replace it with NH upon G. That's it. So you're asked to find the value of N. So what we'll do, let us squaring on both sides. Yeah, squaring on both sides. We have N square B square is equals to U square into, this root will get cancelled, so 2 times of NH upon G. If you observe LHS and UHS, here N square is there, here 1 is there, so gets cancelled. So now the value of N here is found to be this N, keeping it aside. Here you are left with how much? This is U square 2H upon this B square, bring it downward, then you will become GB square. So N is found to be U square 2H upon GB square, 2HU square, GB square. So rearranging the term, you have, first of all, let us write 2H and later U square by GB square. So the value of N is found to be 2HU square by GB square. Hence the correct option must be option number C, that is 2HU square by GB square. Is that clear, children? Well, moving to the next question, question number 21. A body is projected horizontally from the top of a tower with initial velocity 18 meter per second. So it was thrown, the body was thrown from the top of a tower with what velocity? Initial velocity of 18 meter per second. Okay, hits the ground at an angle of 45 degrees. So this hits the ground at an angle of what? 45 degrees. What angle? That's it. Well, what is the vertical component of velocity when it strikes the ground? So this, after hitting the ground, this velocity vector, maybe some V, is resolved into two components, horizontal velocity and vertical velocity. You are asked to find the value of vertical velocity. Okay, children. So in order to find out this value, if you observe the same case here, horizontal velocity always remains constant and this is nothing but 18 meter per second. Horizontal velocity is given as 18 meter per second. The horizontal velocity along throughout its motion remains constant. So Vx is found to be Ux, which is equals to 18 meter per second. Okay. And angle was also given. We know the formula for tan theta as Vy by Vx, tan alpha, tan theta, whatever you take. This is given as Vy by Vx. So you know these formulas. So based on that, let us try to substitute the above values. So tan alpha value they gave it as 45 degrees, must be equals to Vy, you are asked to find out, and the value of Vx is nothing but 18 meter per second. So tan 45 is 1 equals to Vy by 18, or cross multiply, you get the value of Vy as 18 meter per second. Yes. What is that? 18 meter per second. So the option number C must be true. Clear? That's it.